lot of things that you should be talking about. Owen Izaga is my name. Linda Susie joins me in the studios, and we shall be discussing a lot of things nationally, locally, internationally, and continentally, but with different stakeholders from different areas already raising concerns about the ongoing post-primary ball games that is ongoing. Susie, just from that is one of the places, and she can testify how exactly she could be suffering from the tear gas right there. Susie, good afternoon. Welcome from the battlefield.
Thank you so much. Surely that was a battlefield, I should say. But there, if you're not sportic, trust me, tear gas will finish here. And that was down in Giaco Primary School, where, of course, we had St. Joseph's College Ombachi and Arua Town SS. Most of you should be wondering which Arua Town SS this is. Formerly, it used to be called Arua Town College. And we saw St. Joseph's College Ombachi bowing out from there is the quarter final results that possibly will be coming through in the analysis. Keep it glued to West Nile TV 2 to 3 whistle time.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things that you should be talking about. Probably that is what everyone wants to know, what exactly is happening out of that is the post-primary ball games. But of course, interestingly, a couple of stories also from this same thing, because the ladies football is also going on, or the girls football is ongoing, and it all started at 10 a.m. So we had to know some of the results from the girls side, but of course for the boys, we already have it right here at hand, and of course on the desk over whistle time. Now internationally, we did see also a couple of things that probably happened, and that they're still happening. As Team Lazio announcing a new head coach is one big thing. Raheem Sterling missing a chance against Leicester City, probably to take penalties, because the man by the names of Cole Palmer being the man trusted in there. We did see Uganda sending a contingent of around 26 players, plus of course 35, going off to go and represent Uganda in Ghana, and of course Comoros friendly that is there. International break takes part this weekend, and of course probably clubs have gone back to their, players have gone back to that is their home countries to see that they have there. But let's start with the games right there. Mvara here was at Pokea, where of course you did see Mvara winning. Ali lead made them to of course seal it, and I was in today's training session at Greenlight Stadium, where I didn't see my head coach Samson Sizokuti, probably, who was not there. That means he went for the game, and indeed he had written for him to be excused to go for that game, and of course they got the win. Mvara not Mvara Boys, but Mvara Secondary School advances to the semi-finals right there. Arua Public couldn't do anything anymore, but of course according to the reports we got from there, it all started with again tear gas and the rest. That means of both areas, if you had gone to the other or this side, you would still get the tear gas. But let's start with Mvara. How good is that for them? They're through to the semi-finals.
Last year we saw Mvara going to up to the finals where they played. There is Arua SS, and it ended in penalty shootouts, and their head coach, the same head coach, there is Samson Sizokuti, was highly disappointed, and he anticipated that he literally blamed poor officiation and all that. So this time around, I think the team Mvara has come in bigger and better, ready to win in the trophies down there for you, because this is one Mvara that started, I think, training ahead of every other school before the ball games kick-started, and this time around going through to there is the same is beating a Republic 1-0. To me, by the Republic this time around, I didn't assemble a competitive squad. A Republic to me just assembled an average team that was literally displayed in all the games that they went through from the group stages to see that today they bow out of there is the quarterfinals where they were beaten by Mvara 1-0 at St. Paul and Peter's Pokea Seminary.
Yeah, it's a very big one, of course, for the team that has gone in there. Arua Public, go back and concentrate for classes, which of course I would say to the fans, I'm just saying, because football is football, you need to get there. I saw other people taking it personal. Yesterday I was in one of the media houses trying to criticize a few of the teams, and that is one thing that probably someone called me and like, oh, you don't like our school, why? I said, but I didn't study in that school, and I don't think I need to just say something about it more oftenly. But all in all, I was there for the draws. These draws, to me, I think it's arrangement so that there were a couple of concerns raised, and the teams that, all the schools that you think would be so troublesome up to the finals are the schools that again have been eliminated. One of them is Ombachi. Of course, we did see Ombachi's game end 0-0, but in the penalty shootouts, it was, of course, the Arua Town SS that has again taken it to the next level. Now, that is one thing that you have seen with Arua Town SS. I think it has also added in a lot of things to the school. Last season, I think they were champions in one of the competitions, if not last season, the other season, because we did see them win here before they went in for the regionals, where they, I think, lost the game. But all in all, I think if you look at the team of, or the school of Ombachi, this time round, just like you said, for you felt maybe they are assembled. Off air, you were telling me you looked at their assembling was too average. By the way, I have not watched any of these games for the schools. But according to what I've been following, like today morning, I was talking to a friend. I'm like, Mvara, if you look at how they have followed from where they started to where they have reached, I gave them that win wholesomely, and indeed they won. The game that I felt was going to be an upper hand was for Ombachi, because they were also a team that probably would want to prove to themselves after they came back from being called off. I remember it was the OBs and the management that said, no, we first need Ombachi to rest, so that they couldn't participate for some 2 years, I think, and which they did. Now, this time round, their participation has not taken them far. Probably they're also getting back to concentrate on schools, school on books, which is a very good thing, because they are one of the leading schools in academics in the region, which they did perform very well. But this, sports-wise, I think has affected this team a little bit, or the school a little bit. Now, what next for Ombachi?
I think St. Joseph's College Ombachi should accept this result that has come, and they should go back to read their books, because we literally know them for being good performers. This was very evident in last year's results, both UCE and UACE, where we saw them. In UCE, we saw them bringing in a lot of, producing in a lot of boys in first grade, 60 plus, and then USCE, they equally also performed so well. But if you look at the St. Joseph's College currently in there is the sports, trust me, this is one result that I doubt if the boys will accept, because one, they were already beaten, yes. This is something they failed to, of course, attain a win in the 90 minutes of play that literally saw them go through to, there is the penalty shootouts together with there is a Return College. And this penalty shootout ended on a 3-2, where we saw Arua Town SS going through to, there is the semis. And Ombachi was beaten in there. One thing I want to talk about is the goalkeeper of Arua Town. This guy saved most of the penalties that actually came through, compared to the goalkeeper of St. Joseph's College Ombachi, and that resulted into whatever it is that happened there. So St. Joseph's College Ombachi and Arua Public SS should go back and read in their books, including including Manibe, by the way. Manibe had a game with Niva High, Old Nile High, formerly known as Nile High. Manibe had a game with Niva High, and Manibe lost 1-0. So Manibe High is out. St. Joseph's College Ombachi is out, Arua Public is out. So basically, these people should go in and read in their books and bring us good results. Probably that is where we will be celebrating them. But for now, I think I will go into celebrating the schools that have done it and work hard to see to it that their schools are pushed through to the next levels. It's a very big one, and of course, interesting one for schools like this, probably to push and see what probably is that they should focus on, because you may start pushing it a little bit closer when things are not working the way you expected. And when you don't expect this to happen to your school and it happens, that means there's somewhere
somehow you should be focusing for. Now, if you look at the schools, let's talk about the differences of these schools. If you look at the legacy left by these different schools, you would say it is so soon for Mbachi to get out. If you look at the legacy left by Arua Public, you would say it's so soon, but I've loved the way that games have changed. I remember yesterday they had to make in fact, a strong warning to the team to all the schools that, you know what, we shall not accept you to push things in a malpractice way. One of them was the documentation. Every school had to come with original documents of their students who are going to play. And others were like, who are given provisional. And I remember the assessment committee did say it is a must that you should provide. If it is PLE, provide the original slip, not the provisional slip of the PLE to this. So I think it's one big thing that you could be talking about, but I think the games are taking shape. We shall also be waiting for the draws to come again, because shortly the draws will also come, and maybe by tomorrow we shall expect to have the draws for the semi-finals that will be coming right there, which team probably will tussle where. And this is where you will be having the intensity of the games go high and higher. So that's one big thing. But of course, we shall give you also updates about the girls, how they're doing, unless if it reaches our desk now. We leave that there.
But before we cross, for the girls, I think we would give out fixtures before we do a compilation over the results. For the girls, Muni girls were supposed to play Arua Public at 10 a.m. at Idiofe Girls and Mary's Idiofe playgrounds, and then Anvara was supposed to play Arua SS 11:30 at also the same playgrounds, and that is Idiofe. And then Idiofe girls would play Cornerstone SS 10 a.m. at Elifura Stadium on Duparaka. And then Tarantino is to play Arua Town SS 11 at also Elifura Elifura Stadium down there. These are some of the fixtures that came through for the girls football.
All right, that's one big thing that we shall be looking into, and we will want to see how exactly teams probably will be performing schools will be performing from all the angles, from all the distances, from all those that will be there. But of course, where would you love the semi-finals to be taking place?
I think this time around schools have moved in the outskirts of Arua city, where we literally saw where the group stages started from. And if you realize from the quarterfinals, they are virtually moving in within the city center of Arua city. So basically, I think the same venues that were used for today, to me, I see them still being used even for semi-finals, and then finals. I literally don't know where it will take place, but I suspect that the finals will be within the town center.
I'm doubting whether the town this will be in the town center. I would prefer the finals to once again be taken to Bondo Military Barracks Army Ground. That's where we shall wait for the finals, because I remember that side it was so calm, and schools came back safely.
No manyanga.
No nothing. Teams won their games, and that is what happened. So I would still prefer that this is where it should be taken.
Actually, I accept that, and I would wish that from the semi-finals, the games should be moved to there is a Bondo Military Barracks, because I am seeing St. Joseph's College Mbachi not accepting their results freely. I am seeing Arua Public not accepting their results freely. Anything can happen anytime. So basically to deter or to bar any other chances of hooliganism again, to me I just feel from the next stages of football, the games should be pushed to there is a Bondo Military Army Barracks for a very peaceful display of football.
Now let's wait and see what exactly will be coming. But of course, remember again, schools are struggling with issues of monies and the rest, but still for safety of these schools and of course the students, yes, for me I would suggest that is where we go and see things go right way. So it's one of the biggest things that you could be talking about. But all in all, I want to also say that there are two things we can talk about in there. There's the West Nile Regional League that is also ongoing. Chaotic it was after the Dramachako game was called off with Araka Football Club. Now today they have summoned the head of referees for the region for a hearing, which of course is ongoing right now because it was supposed to be at 2 at Koboko. That's where they're going to sit for a hearing and of course report that was sent, why this game was called off, and probably a lot of things and explanations right there. According to reports coming here, it was supposed to be the man by the names of Atikur Rahman, who was supposed to officiate the game, but of course he couldn't make it also there that day, and he was, I think, deployed somewhere. Issues happened, insults, intimidation, there were threats, of course, all on Araka and some officials, that is the region. Now, it is said that Araka, when Dramachako went to Araka, there were issues that happened. I think their fans were also beaten and the rest. Then Dramachako had to petition Araka, if you remember, and 2 points were docked. Now, all these scenarios have happened in the previous season. Now, this time round, I think it's a season they want to revenge, and something that, of course, did not go well. Araka, Dramachako was waiting, fans were rowdy, and as a president of the region, Mr. Ariga Rasul had to call off the game. I had. Of course, calling off the game means that there should be security involved and other things. For purposes of that, the game was called off, and indeed, the game did not end. So, we are going to have hearing. What are you expecting in maybe the changes or the hearings that will be coming in there?
Nothing much. This literally has always happened time and again, where we've seen people, of course, getting rowdy, hooliganism issues here and there, and a lot has always taken place. So basically, I think the team that actually started this should be penalized, and I don't know why people literally are not learning in from previous mistakes, why people are not learning in from talking of losing points and goals and all that, just like that. People seem to be very okay with revenging, with throwing hooliganism here and there and all that, but to me this is actually not right. I am expecting a very heavy penalty this time around on the team that actually saw this, on the team that actually started the whole chaos.
Let's wait and see what exactly they will be deciding, but that's one big. Now, the hearing and, of course, summoning of these clubs have been summoned. The hearings shall be on Saturday this very week, and probably, I don't know, Susie, whether you will be traveling to Koboko to go and see what exactly is going to be happening, which team. Not only that, there was a referee being beaten at Zewu. That is also one big thing that is going to happen. So the hearing and, of course, disciplinary conclusions shall be made that side. So you should be ready to wait for what exactly comes out from the disciplinary panel or the West Nile Disciplinary Committee panel that will be coming right there. Most of the times when it exceeds, we always see that there is an additional of what is called external body that is used to again revise what is being brought in there. Yes, so that's one big thing that is coming in there. But I want to shift our topic away from there and look at Uganda, who are of course involved in the African Games 2023. As we talk, the Ugandan athletes and the teams in action today include several Ugandan athletes who are coming through probably to see that they adjust and put things rightly. Now, Uganda, there's the ongoing, of course, Africa Games, which is in Ghana, and there will be a lot. Now, the rugby team is there, the rugby sevens team started the quest with the gold, if you remember. They had a very good one. For that is the Uganda Hippos under 20 men's team. They had also another good one, a chance to write history as they, of course, take on Congo today. That is Congo-Brazzaville in the semi-finals. That is a game to watch. Susie, get ready for that. There's a boxing where we shall be having a boxing at that is a Bukon Boxing Arena, and we have Ugandans after, of course, a successful Monday fight. We did see the man by the names of Muzamiru Semudu and Kasim Murunji, who of course have been also in this contest, that they will be participating after they progress to the semi-finals, thus already generating themselves medal, and there will be pursuit for that is more glories to see that they get themselves right there. So Tuesday evening we'll witness Erina, whom Namutebi, who is a lady, taking on that is Nigeria's Cynthia Ogusmero, who of course is also one of the names in the quarterfinals of the women's 60 kg category. So that's going to be a very big one. It's going to be at 8:30 p.m. That's the when you look at the East African time. And then, of course, Isaac Owen Chibera will also be in action. Tasudita against the Tunisian giant opponent. I'm talking about Zakaria Romdani, who, of course, is going to be in the 67th kg category. And this game is, of course, going to be at 12:15 a.m. East African time. Now, Athletics University of Ghana Stadium will host a couple of names, including the women's 400 semi-finals, which will be at 7:30 p.m. And this game will be having Shida Leni, who qualified, of course, to the semi-finals with a time of 53:42, and will be hoping to make a cut into the finals. As for the men's category, you'll be seeing Haron Adori, who will also equally be eyeing for a slot into that is the next move, the final today, and that is going to be another big one after if he finishes well in the semi-finals competition today. And that is the hits. On Monday, Adori came first, and that is the heat 4, with of course a time of 46. Before I get to the rest and the rest, let's start with the three in fact sporting disciplines that are going to be taking place in Accra, Ghana, where of course you have Uganda Hippos going to be in action today. You have Shida Leni, who will also be in action. You have Owen Chibira, who will be in action, and of course see all this. Let's start with the football. Uganda Hippos have been so dominant. They have reached the semi-finals. One step to the finals will earn them an accolade or a medal right there. What do you say?
The Uganda Hippos this time around, they are doing us proud, and they went unbeaten. They went unbeaten in the group stages. We saw them beat Team Nigeria, Senegal, and South Sudan. That is what has earned them today to go and play the Congo in Congo Brazzaville. I think Team Uganda Hippos has literally always they have a history with the Congo Brazzaville, and this is a side that has literally been a little bit of headache to the Hippos. But then with the current squad, I think last year they went through the same journeys, through the same roads, and they didn't literally go in. They went in very far, and we were disappointed somehow. All our hopes were, of course, trashed in there. But this time around, I think from the mistakes that happened last year, I'm quite sure and impressive that these people have learned in their mistakes, and they are quite going to adjust and work on where necessary. And I'm quite positive about this game. And then for Shida Leni, she has always also been there, and she has literally been a winner. About rugby, rugby literally has kickstarted, and Team Uganda takes on there is Zimbabwe, and then on a sad note, in there is our ladies were beaten by there is Nigeria 2-0 in there is the semi-finals over some of these games, African all games.
Yes, it's one of the biggest, and we're expecting a very tight contest in the boxing, where of course Owen will have to deliver, and it's one big. He is in the 67th weight, of course, kg category, and he has been dominant. He has so far gotten accolades for Uganda. This very Africa game that is ongoing right there. So we shall be expecting a lot, and still moving at some of the names that probably will be participating for Uganda includes, of course, the women's triple jump finals that will be at 8 p.m. and Wilfred Atimango will be in that race to see that she goes for the triple jump, as of course she will be the women's triple jumper for Uganda right there. In the women's 800 meters final, 10:05 p.m. That's East African time. You'll be seeing Halima Nakai and of course Susan Aneno, who will be, of course, taking it after they qualified for the finals that will take place today. Now, of course, in the semi-finals, Nakai had the best, of course, time with 2 hours and 3 minutes as 59 microseconds across the 3 hits, as she will also be joined by, that is the fellow countrywoman, Susan, of course, Aneno, who qualified by, that is the performance from three posting a time of 2 hours, 4 minutes and 73 seconds right there. So those are some of the things. The men's 800 meters semi-finals will also be taking place today. By the way, Tom Dradiga was, of course, able to progress to, that is the next level for, that is Uganda, in the semi-finals, after, of course, coming third in the heat 4 with, of course, a finishing timeline of 1 hour and 47 minutes as right there. The men's 4 by 100 meters relay heat includes Uganda will also come in the heat 1, where of course you will also see competing against Mauritania, Ethiopia and Kenya, the Gambian, Ivory Coast and Democratic Republic of Congo, not forgetting Togo in these qualifications right there. Basketball is one of other big names. 3x3, you'll be seeing Legon netball court. That's where we shall be seeing, as women's 3x3 will be taking place after, of course, Uganda's men's team. Uganda got underway on Monday after getting a very qualifying and impressive moment to see that they went through. And the men's football will be taking place at Accra Sports Stadium with Uganda Hippos that will be tussling it out. Rugby Sevens will be at the University of Ghana Rugby Stadium, and that's where they will be participating. And all this is how Uganda is. So a couple of different category of sports is where Uganda is still, and I think doing well is one of the biggest for Ogwal, who of course the sports minister, who could be the happiest because he traveled with the team and he is feeling how, of course, the teams are doing. Should we say they are putting money in the right place?
I think so. Team Uganda has literally been doing okay in almost all the aspects of sports where they literally take part in. Only that, I think they've just been adamant, the stakeholders and the government has been adamant in seeing to it that actually they put in or they injecting monies in the right places. So basically, this is quite a very good one, in that where the monies are being put is exactly where the results are coming from. Trust me, where you indulge in a business and you're benefiting, or it's a positive for both sides, it literally propels you to, of course, invest in more and more and all that. So basically, this is quite a very good one. They have put in monies in the right places, and where the monies have been put is quite very, very paying. And this is quite a very good one. It will literally push in more monies to be invested in all the other different aspects of sports activities or fixtures or future international games that basically will come up. So trust me, this is quite a very good one. Both sides are winning on a spree.
Ghana all out, and of course Uganda all blazing right now. In that is the team. Now the cricket cranes yet again have broken a sweat as they have ejected Ghana, the hosting club, the hosting country, in the All Africa Games right now. And this was after 121 runs win against, that is the host country, Ghana. So very good and outstanding. You've just talked about the prizes for Uganda, but the latest coming here is that Uganda has won the toss and elected to be to bat first. The opening combination of that is this very team now. So it's all about Rogers Makisa, names like Simon Sezaza, and of course he netted around 90 tosses and 69, and putting up a stand of 160 to set a tone for, that is the game. So Uganda is doing well. 194 over, that is 5 in their 20 overs that they have made into the cricket. So I believe Uganda should be coming with a couple of medals to the country after all this, but delivering very well is one thing. We shall be following the remaining ones because they still have a couple of says that probably we could be expecting from the sides of other sports discipline. I believe in Nakai, I believe in Shida Leni, I believe in the Uganda Hippos, who I see them going to the finals. You could see those coming, and those probably gold medals coming to Uganda, if not silver, because after going to finals, whether you want it or no, you either go with the gold or go with a silver medal. Now we're taking a break. When we come back, we shall be discussing more of the international stories, and then we shall also be saying it's a day probably for the day and a quit as we wait for the next program. That will be the movie. But let's take a break. We'll be right back.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Break. Still West Nile Television, Whistle Time live right here. Owen Izaga, and I have Linda Susie with me, but of course still with only 24 minutes to the top of the hour of 3, or you could say to the top of the hour of 15. Okay. Of 15 hours. When we say 24 hours, then that means we are getting to 15 hours soon. Back to what exactly we're coming to. We have a lot of things that probably are propelling in the world of internationals, but one of the biggest is, of course, Nottingham Forest have been docked points. 4 points for, of course, a breach of revenues, of financials. Right there now, the financial fair play rule is one thing, but they have confirmed 4 points have been docked from that is or deducted from the team of Nottingham Forest for breaching profit and sustainability rules and regulation. Bad one for Nottingham Forest, and they now go back into the relegation. Nuno Espirito Santo should be the man you're talking about right now. Not feeling well because the team is already in the relegation zone. This was one big thing. You saw that happen with the Toffees. I'm talking about Everton, which, of course, the Toffees were docked 6 points, later on adjusted. Of course, I think 4 were docked. Now, very many expected 6 will also be docked by this. because for the trophies they had exceeded the term and they had gone past around 19.5 million euros. But for this time, for the team of Nottingham Forest, they have gone past. They are still a new team. How do you go reach by 34.5 million euros? That is not allowed in England. You have to keep the limit that is put for any other club. So that is what has happened, and bad one for Nottingham Forest.
It's quite a very bad one. Profitability and sustainability charges. This, of course, leaves them in the 18th position with 9 games left, and it definitely also drags them into the relegation zone. Quite a very bad one for them. With about 9 games left, I think this is going to be quite a very bad one. I don't see them, of course, catching up with all the points and catching up with the rest of the teams that are ahead of them. We're already in March, and it's highly anticipated that the season might come to an end or to a close on around May 19th and all that. So basically, this literally is going to affect them, and we shouldn't be surprised if we see them being relegated, because the removal of those points has already put them into the relegation zone. And trust me, the teams that are now ahead of them are quite going to be fighting so hard to see to it that they actually also don't go in down, they don't sink and all that. So quite a very bad one for there is Nottingham Forest. We pray maybe like the other team, if this can be revised and the number of points be reduced. But for now, like Dalia said, it takes them to 18th position, relegation, with 9 games left to close the season. Quite too bad.
A bad one for them, of course, right there. We shall wait to see what exactly Nuno Espirito Santo can do to make sure that the team gets in there, because they are doing really poorly right now. Maybe they will need to get more points. But elsewhere in Italian Serie A, we did see Lazio confirming, of course, Igor Tundo, who of course has been one of the new head coaches. This coach has been playing for or managing the team of I managed Hellas Verona, then of course managed the Marseille side before he crossed over to that is team Lazio. Remember, Mauricio Pochettino had no, not Pochettino, but Mauricio Sarri had said no. He put in a resignation and left the club of Lazio. Now this makes Lazio get a new coach, and that is the coach who is going to be there. Not so much experience, probably could say, but he has gotten Hellas, and not changing very many teams, but Hellas and Marseille is the team that they have made in there. So we shall wait to see how exactly that would be. If you look at the game of Liverpool, someone had asked me, who was your best player, Liverpool, Manchester United?
I think it was this other guy. Do you know this other guy of Manchester United that actually earned a red card at the end of the game?
Amad Diallo,
yep.
The Ivorian.
Exactly. This guy, to me, played out his heart to see to it that Manchester United actually got this very win. Even in the dying minutes, they completely didn't. He completely didn't give up, and saw to it that he propelled his side to that very huge win that actually gets them to the finals of FA.
Okay, that's you, and for me, I gave mine direct to the person. So now there's one big story. Chelsea wants to fire their coach, that is Mauricio Pochettino, at the end of the season, probably right there. And there's going to be one name called Simon Inzaghi, who has been called, the Italian is 47 years of age, and of course looking forward that this is the coach they want to put in their Lazio. He managed them in 2016 to 2021, then managed Inter Milan up to date. He's the man who is at the helm of Inter Milan in right there. Could this be, according to, if you look at the Chelsea style of play right now, could this be a very good coach for Chelsea? And if you look at how Inter Milan is playing now, would this be a good addition, or would this be the right man for Chelsea?
Inter Milan is quite playing a very good football, I should say. But then with him coming to Chelsea, is going to need a lot of time because the two sides, to me, play quite a very different kind of football. Trust me, the kind of football in Inter Milan cannot be brought in Chelsea. It will take quite some time for various other players and every other person to, of course, get acquainted to the style of play that he will literally move with from Inter Milan. But this is going to, of course, be obvious that he moves with this type of play from there is Inter Milan, and basically the players at Chelsea just have to get ready to, of course, get addicted and acquainted to that is the new kind of play. Because if you watch Chelsea right now and you watch Inter Milan right now, you'd literally accept that there are two different type of plays, and the other quite is so sluggish and the other is so quick. So two different things.
Let's wait and see what exactly, but I think it could change something, though the English Premier League is a hard league to adopt to very fast, and Chelsea being under expectation, or I mean on a high expectation, the team is under, of course, immense pressure because they want to deliver. That's one thing that is going to be affecting, of course, the team of Chelsea. So any coach that comes there will expect the pressure being mounted on him and probably deliver according to what exactly is needed. So those are some of the things that probably we shall be expecting in right there. Now for Barcelona, they have already started talks with Hansi Flick, the former Bayern Munich and of course Germany head coach. Right now is in talks with of course a move to Barcelona. Remember, they are the other paper that said it was Arteta that they wanted, but this time around also Hansi Flick is in their books. He had a very good run with Bayern Munich, but the Bayern team of course that you have seen now crossing over to Barcelona. Would that be give him a chance of qualifying, maybe making the team still get better?
Barcelona, by the way, is quite slowly going down the drains, if you see that. Barcelona that we have right now is not the Barcelona we had those days when we were probably growing up and all that. So basically, I think they've realized that they need new add-ons that basically should pull up this team to back to its legendary winning days and all that. So currently, I think he could be the right person to bring back Barcelona from their current state of draining back to where they used to be.
United and of course Rashford has said that he's not going anywhere. He wants to remain at the team. According to reports coming in there, he is going to do everything possible. And Fiorentina, Perez wants to bring of course Alejandro Garnacho to Real Madrid. Do you see it very easy? I mean, do you see it's the right time for Garnacho to move? Because there's no player who will not want to go to Madrid.
Yeah, every other player, of course, targets Real Madrid because it sells so much. It's I should say it's quite so much followed and all that. But Garnacho, to me, I feel he needed to at least stay a little bit at Manchester United to build more on his career. But if this opportunity comes, trust me, I see Garnacho grabbing it with both hands, and it will literally do him so well. Only that. If he avoids a little bit of injuries, but we all know we cannot run away from injuries. Sometimes it's not planned and all that. So it's quite going to be a very good one for Garnacho. But to me, if it was possible, he needed to build on a little bit on his career as he stays at Manchester United and extends his stay a little bit.
Yeah, of course, he has he had extended his contract up to 2027-2028 season with Manchester United, so it's all going to be up to him. Nevertheless, with the development on an upward, of course, probably trajectory that is coming through, you would be seeing that this club needs to add more of course, because we are seeing them trying to see that overhaul, changing here and there. That is Manchester United, because Sir Ratcliffe has come with all his new strategy. We shall be waiting to see what exactly will be coming. But according to that is Real Madrid exclusive, you will see that Perez has said that he wants to keep this player. Wants to get the player and take him to the team of Real Madrid. Now, with that, I don't see much that we shall be adding for you today. That's why we are going to be stopping for today, unless you have any other thing to summarize this up.
The ball games we are waiting for, there is the draws that you actually talked about, and when the draws come out, trust us with the first-hand information that will definitely bring them to you right here on your screens as I literally go out to compile the results for the girls.
All right, that's going to be one of the biggest things that we shall be doing, and I want to say thank you so much for always keeping it at West.